Okay, so here we are at Thieves Town for the Link to the Past Randomizer Casual Dungeon Guide. I like Thieves Town. I found it a bit tricky when I first started. I like to have, a lot of safeties going in, but it's really not that bad, so don't get too discouraged on it. First thing, you do need the hammer in order to get all items in this dungeon. If you don't have hammer, then that's fine. You're only going to miss one chest. The main area, or the first area of of Thieves Town is going to be in kind of 4 quadrants. There are 4 chests in the first part as well. There's one of those 4 chests is definitely going to be Big Key. So I'm just going to go through and get the first 4. Obviously, the first chest is there in the first quadrant in kind of the upper part of it. You do want to stay on top and then jump down in order to get the chest. Second chest, you just kind of move up, do exactly what I just did, and then you jump back down again, kind of loop around back into quadrant 2, and then into quadrant 3, back down into quadrant 4. I say back down, it wasn't back down, it's the first time you're in quadrant 4. Big Key. And then we go back to quadrant 1 to get this chest. Okay, so it looked like we got 1 item there. Big Key, regular key, and I forget what the other item was. So not a huge deal, just keep better track than I did. From there you want to come back into the 4th quadrant, go back up into the 3rd quadrant, and then the Big Key door is in the top right corner of the top right quadrant. Once you enter the Big Key door, you want to dash all the way up to the top. You don't need boots for this, obviously. Grab the key in the top right pot, come back down into the key door, kill that guy. This room here is where it's nice to have hookshot, because it's a bit of a pain otherwise. That's why you can just hookshot to that statue and be, take no damage. This is another room that's just a pain in the butt. There's no real easy way to do this other than to grind it out. We want to go all the way up to the top and through the northern door. From here we want to pick up the pot, walk to the top of the blue switches. Don't screw up your... Don't screw that up. Whatever. Hit the switch. Sorry, I got a bit flustered there. Anyways, head up the stairs. The reason why we needed that switch is so that we can open up these pots for that switch. And then we just want to dash across here. You saw me use Cane of Samaria there. You don't need it. I could have used another item, but whatever. Throw the bomb onto the thing, pick up a couple replacements, and then head back the way we came. Okay. And back down the stairs, we're going to watch out for these spikes. We want to make sure that we don't hit that switch on the left side there, because having the blue blocks depressed allows us to get into this room, which allows us to get into this room, which allows us to get downstairs. There's a bomb in that top left pot if you need one, but you want to head directly downstairs. Kill that guy. Pick up a block here. Required items for Thieves Town is really only Power Glove. I think I may have misspoke at the beginning of the video, but get over it. You don't really have to kill those guys, but you want to grab that chest. There's hearts. Oh my gosh. Hearts under these 2 right pots. There's also an anti-fairy, not an anti-fairy, whatever the yellow things are underneath that pot. So you can magic powder that pot before you lift it up and get the fairy out of it. If you have the hammer, you may as well continue left here. You also need a key here, but since you've done the correct routing, then you should have a key. And we just want to hammer these guys, grab our item, and away we go. One thing about Blind is, regardless of what sword you have, he takes 9 hits. 3 hits 3 hits per cycle, and again, it doesn't matter what sword you have. Anyways, come back up the stairs, hit the right pot, or grab the right pot for the switch. When we take blind in, I'm going to walk into the light, and I'm immediately going to go to the top of the screen, turn around, and do a sword charge. It gives me my first hit really easily right off the bat. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. There's some really good videos on the blind strategy. I have not watched or learned any of them, so you're going to see some pretty sloppy stuff here. Again, I really highly recommend using your safeties like your cane or your cape if you're having a problem with this fight. But just avoid the fire and get your 9 hits in and you should be fine. I'm getting bodied for no reason here, by the way. Just trying to talk and play, I guess. So that was sloppy. It lost a bunch of hearts, but typically... you know, an average fight for me is I lose about 3 hearts through the thing. So that's that. That's blind. That's Skull Woods. Not Skull Woods. Thieves Town. Sorry. Hope that helped. Yeah, again, obviously my routing could be different than other players. It's just the way I go through it, and it works for me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.